Hey, it's your boy DTimothy. I'm back with another video. Hope you enjoy it, and if you do, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. So, guess who's finally made it through their first semester out here in Canada? So I thought it would be right for me to do a video on my experience with finals and exams and essays as we draw to the end of this first semester. So I've mentioned it before, the main difference with exams out here is the frequency, because after reading week I had between 2 to 3 assignments due every single week. And honestly, I don't know how we made it through, but we move, eh? So the difference between the law degree back home is within one course or one module, because people keep calling it different things. Within one course, I would have probably 1 or 2 essays due before December. Then I'd have only the exam to focus on between January and May. And the final exam would be like worth 70% of the entire course. So that's sort of like a rough description of the typical structure back home. 1 essay, then 1 exam that counts. So split usually 70% to 30%. Out here, it's a whole other kettle of fish, because I could have 5-6 different assignments and the final exam, which is good in a way because it means there's not that much pressure towards the end of the year on the exam, but the final exam would still be worth 30%. You'd have a lot of assignments due week after week after week after week, which means you've got to try and stay on top of everything you're doing. But basically, when I saw my academic timetable for this year, my head was spinning, because boy, it was intense, man. So even for the build up towards my final exams and essays, I still somehow had 3 assignments due almost every single week, from reading week until the final week of studying, which is good. Let me look at my timetable real quick. Yeah, 4 or 5 weeks. And I'm no mathematician, but that meant I had 13, 14, 15 different assignments due from reading week until the end of the teaching here in Canada. And then I had 3 essays to focus on, and then exams. So it was actually a lot, but we made it through because I'm making this video. And to be honest, I've had some grades back, and I'm pleased with what I've been able to get. Even got another, 87.5% in another essay. I don't even remember writing the essay, but I'll take that grade. But yeah, 2-2s, it's time for me to start preparing for the essays. These major essays that were, I think, were worth like 25%, 30%. I looked at how long they were supposed to be and looked at the deadlines for each one. Tell me why I had 3 12-page essays due within a 7-day period. Yeah. Lord have mercy. And these essays were no joke, basically. They were coming for my neck. My excuse while I was out here was, listen, I'm in Canada, but I'm new. But these essays didn't care. They still wanted to come for my neck. And not gonna lie, I was actually quite stressed and overwhelmed by it all. But this is where the importance of a supportive network of friends, family, and even knowing where to go to in university for support is key. Because this is how I got through this intense period, this academically intense period of this semester. So I made it through the first essay, made it through the second essay, handed those in fine. Well, yeah, I got through them. Then it came to the final essay, which was the most complex in my opinion for one of my 3rd year classes in politics. And that essay was just another breed of difficult. I'm slightly frustrated that I managed to let a module out here, a course that is only worth less than 1% of my entire law degree, have me on ropes the way that it did. But because of the way that I am, a perfectionist who likes to hand in my best, I was still trying my best. Despite not knowing where I was going with this essay or what I was writing, I was still just like, Dwight, I've still got to try. But it was still a lot. I'm just so glad that I have a supportive family who may have been 4,000 miles away, but I'm glad that I had them to help me through messaging, and I'm glad that I had friends both back home in the UK and here in Canada who could help me as well, because it was actually a lot, man. And people back home will know me as the positive guy who likes to help motivate other people, but at this time, I only needed motivation to even get through. So I hadn't even started revising for exams, but even before I could get to that hurdle to end the semester, I had to somehow get through this hurdle, which was the final essay that was due, the final 12-page essay. And it was honestly looking like a problem. So I just opened up to my family, opened up to some friends and said, guys, not gonna lie to you, chief, this ain't it. It's not looking good. Honestly, yeah, that's just what I had to do. I was just like, it's not looking good. But I'm so glad that each and every one of them, each and every one of my family members took the time to just message me, to reassure me, to video call me, to just encourage me, and most importantly, to just pray for me. Because prayer actually works. And in addition to that, just think about it. That's what family is all about, right? Just being able to support one another, that should be your first point of call when you're going through something. And to be honest, I was going through it. I'm smiling now because I got through it, because of the support that my family gave to me. But at the time, there were a lack of smiles around. Even Dylan, my little brother, after I messaged in the main family WhatsApp chat, one day he comes, hits me up on Instagram, DMing me just saying,
Dwight, there's basically some nice pictures that you're uploading.
Because obviously, I'm trying to match my brother's level, my older brother, to when he was out here in Canada. Dylan, my little brother, comes and says,
Dwight, there are some nice pictures that you're uploading, but it seems like you've forgotten one thing.
These times I'm thinking, Dylan, how are you messaging me in December telling me that I've forgotten something when I've been in Canada for 4 months? How are you going to wait that long to tell me that I've forgotten something? What are you doing? Then he follows up that message saying,
Dwight, you've forgotten who you are. You are the Dwight Wilson. The Dwight Wilson.
That's what he wrote to me. Let me even pop up this message, because it was just beautiful, man, Dylan, and I appreciate it a lot. He was coming up to me saying, Dwight, you've forgotten who you are. You are the Dwight Wilson. You are intelligent. You are handsome. Listen, I need a fresh trim. But he was saying I'm handsome. He was saying, Dwight, you are a conqueror. And Dwight, you are blessed. And I was just like, yo, I needed that. And it helped. So thank you, Dylan. But he wasn't the only one. Dwayne, my bigger brother, my inspiration, one of my role models, he was just there for me. Frequently messaging me, which I love, because it just, to me, people are different, but to me it shows that they're actually concerned about what you're going through and that they just want to be there for you. So he did that, messaging me day after day, just checking up on me, seeing how I'm progressing through the stages, seeing if I was sticking to my own personal goals of getting from like one paragraph to the next, because obviously all progress is progress, especially with essays. So he was just there for me in that sense too. You know what both of my brothers put together just reminded me of how I would go about trying to motivating my friends at university, and I would literally just be telling some of them, sometimes you just gotta wake up in the morning and just remind yourself who you are. Sometimes you just have to wake up, look in the mirror and say, I am Dwight Wilson and I am more than a conqueror. So that's what I did after both my brothers took the time to just reassure me and encourage me. I literally got up, looked in the mirror and said, my name is Dwight Wilson. And I feel like that's just a good foundation to try and getting back to the person that you know you can be, because you just have to remind yourself, listen, I've got through every single obstacle that I've faced before this point. So what's going to stop me from getting through this next obstacle? It works for me, it can work for you too. That's all I'm saying. Then in addition to my brothers just being a constant support for me, I had my mum video calling me, and honestly, not video calling my mum in particular, but just video calling in general, I don't do it frequently. I don't know if it's because I'm not used to it or because, I don't know, I just don't do it frequently. But I had her video calling me and it was just amazing to see her face and amazing for her to just pray for me and just know that she was there for me on this journey, because we all go through it sometimes. It happens. It's a part of life. But it's just good to have that supportive network, family that's there for you and praying for you. Because once again, prayer works. But she was just telling me, Dwight, just do your best, leave it all in God's hands, and reminding me, this is just one module out of how many modules that I'm doing. So even if it is a bad grade, in the grand scheme of things, it's not as deep as I'm making it out to be, which is another thing that I've learned, because overthinking is really what makes us think that we're way behind where we should be in life or in university. But we move, I had my dad as well saying similar things about just try your best, because that's all you can do. Because at least when you try your best, you know that you've done all that you can do, instead of just giving up. The one thing that I will always remember that my dad has told me time and time again is, in essence, don't pop your neck over this degree. Basically, he used to just say your health, whether that's physical or mental, is way more valuable than the degree itself, because what good is it to pass the degree with flying colours, get the top grades, if in the process you've damaged your mental health and physical health so much that you can't even put the degree to good use after you graduate. So that's another thing. That's another food for thought. Mental health, physical health, both of those are vital at university. Throughout all of your endeavours to just get the best grades, make sure that your mental and physical health are still in good shape. Yeah, don't pop your neck over this degree as much as you want it. But honestly, I just thank God for the family that I've had. I've only really spoke about the family members that have been so influential at this time, but there are a range of other, I still call them family members, but they're not related to me through blood, like godparents and grandparents. Also, my closest friends, not even my closest, just my closest friends, but friends back in England and friends that I've made here in Canada that were supporting me. It's not even like it was a massive a massive thing where people had to support me, but just knowing that through that one little blip on the radar that I had a good supportive network. That's the main thing for me. The support that of people that I had during this period of finals and exams and assignments, day after day after day after day. But